50 Shades of Grey has many similarities to Twilight, and Stephenie Meyer's world of vampires and werewolves played a key role in the development of 50 Shades of Grey. One of the most controversial and despised book adaptations in recent years is 50 Shades of Grey, based on the novel of the same name by E. L. James. The book was quite controversial due to its literary quality and its inaccurate representation of BDSM, but it became a worldwide phenomenon. As has happened to many other popular books in the last 2 decades, 50 Shades of Grey got a film adaptation in 2015. 50 Shades of Grey follows college graduate Anastasia Steele, Dakota Johnson, who meets young business magnate Christian Grey, Jamie Dornan, with whom she starts a relationship. However, Grey is into BDSM and has strict rules on how their relationship should be, which pushes Anastasia to her physical and emotional limits, making her question what she truly wants from their relationship. Despite being panned by critics, 50 Shades of Grey was a box office success, but due to its similarities to Twilight, it raised the question of whether it inspired Anna and Christian's story or not. Stephenie Meyer's debut novel Twilight was a huge pop culture phenomenon back in the early 2000s. Meyer shared her unique world where humans, vampires, and werewolves coexist, but the latter two creatures were unlike their traditional versions. Meyer's Twilight told the story of human teenager Bella Swan and vampire Edward Cullen, who started a relationship that put humans and vampires at risk in different ways. Twilight was the beginning of a series of 4 novels that became a worldwide phenomenon, even serving as inspiration for many other authors and artists. Among those inspired by Twilight was E. L. James, a former TV executive who, after watching the first Twilight movie, was instantly captivated and inspired by Bella and Edward's story. James told Chicago Tribune in 2012 that she read the Twilight books after watching the movie and reread them various times, and so she decided to write a sequel to Meyer's novels. After finishing 2 books, James discovered fan fiction, and so she wrote her own Twilight fanfic, titled Master of the Universe, under the pen name Snow Queen Ice Dragon. Master of the Universe featured characters named after Edward and Bella, but given the story's sexual nature, James removed it from the fan fiction website she was sharing it on and published it on her own. James kept working on Master of the Universe and rewrote it as an original piece, changing the names of its main characters to Christian Grey and Anastasia Steele. James took it down from her website before its publication, and the extended version of Master of the Universe was divided into 3 parts, thus becoming the 50 Shades of Grey trilogy. 50 Shades of Grey succeeded thanks to viral marketing. 50 Shades of Grey's success was unexpected. 50 Shades of Grey had an unusual but very successful publishing process. The first novel was released as an ebook and print-on-demand paperback in 2011 by the Writer's Coffee Shop, with 50 Shades Darker published in the same formats later that year and 50 Shades Freed arriving in 2012. The Writer's Coffee Shop, a virtual publisher, had a limited marketing budget and thus relied on blogs for publicity, but 50 Shades of Grey became known through word-of-mouth recommendations. This benefited 50 Shades of Grey so greatly that booksellers who had copies of it advertised themselves in the comments sections of blogs, via the Christian Science Monitor. The increasing interest in 50 Shades of Grey got the attention of publishers, with Vintage Book picking up the trilogy for re-release in 2012, both online and physical copies. 50 Shades of Grey was a success due to the curiosity of readers sparked by the sexual themes in it and to its perceived demographic, mostly composed of married women in their 30s, though the books were also quite popular among teenagers and college women.